We're all here. Good. Thank you. So sorry for the delay. The conference meeting took a little bit longer. We had something to discuss, so I apologize. The statement of compliance is as follows. This meeting is being held in accordance with the Open Publics Meeting Act. An adequate notice of this meeting has been provided as required by law. Specifically, the annual notice was emailed to the West Essex Tribune and Star Ledger on January 3rd, 2025. The agenda and resolutions for the meeting are available on www.livingstonnj.org. Certain portions of this meeting may be closed to the public for the purpose of personnel and/or matters as outlined in the Sunshine Law. Decisions made and/or discussed in the closed sessions will be made known to the public at later time. Notice to the members of the governing body and township staff, any use of electronic devices during this meeting shall be used solely for the purpose of the township businesses and any communications and subject to the Open Publics Record Act. To the extent possible, this evening's Township of Livingston Council meeting will be live streamed via Facebook at www.facebook.com/Livingston Township NJ. Questions or comments will be accepted by emailing livcomments@livingstonNJ.org by 4 p.m. on the day of the meeting and shared with the Township Council members. Each speaker should follow the rules of order in the Livingston Code 2-15.3. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Anthony.
Here.
Baptani.
Here.
Vieira.
Present.
Deputy Mayor Klein.
Here.
Mayor Meinhardt.
Here, we're going to rise for a moment of silence followed by the pledge. As we rise this evening, we should certainly remember all the tragic victims. There was 3 plane crashes that has taken place since we met last time, and certainly for their families and for many others through natural disasters and for wars throughout the world. All right, just one small bit of housekeeping for this evening. For those of you who are here for introduction ordinance number 04-2025, that has been pulled from this evening's agenda. I do not see Eileen Fishman from the county, so we will then go on to proclamations and presentations. Barbara Bai, I think you're up from the Livingston Library. I think there's a microphone. Where's the microphone? Right there, there's a microphone right over here. There you go. Turn it on, make sure that it's on, so.
I guess that's on, yeah. Mayor Meinhardt, Deputy Mayor Klein, members of the council, thank you so much for permitting me to speak to you about Friends of the Livingston Library, which will be celebrating its 65th anniversary next month. My name is Barbara Bai. I am a resident of Livingston. I serve as a member of the Friends of the Livingston Library Board, and I also serve as library treasurer. So over the years, our library has been extremely, extremely fortunate that it has had the overwhelming support of our township and the council. Township budgetary support has helped make our library what I consider to be a jewel in the crown of Livingston. And for that, the library community is very, very, very grateful. This notwithstanding, township funding does leave gaps, and that's where Friends of the Library comes in. For the last 6.5 decades, Friends has been promoting, advocating, and supporting for our library. And over the years, Friends funding has ensured that all library program is now funded by Friends of the Library. So that ranges from seniors attending senior happenings, to adults attending lifelong learning, to teen crafts, and programs for toddlers and babies. Indeed, during 2024, 418 adult programs had attendance of nearly 19,000 people. 334 youth programs had attendance of more than 37,000. In addition to that, Friends also supports some of the ancillary services that make our library special. That includes things like the Library of Things and the Museum Pass program. Friends also contributes to some of the library technology initiatives, as well as to some library development of collections. So in recognition of these achievements, and to help ensure that Friends will be around for the next 65 years, we are conducting a 65 for 65 campaign. We are asking members of the public, that includes members of the council, to contribute $65 to our future. And anyone interested can contact Friends through the library. So thank you for your time.
Thank you, Barbara. So as most of us know, when you have the honor of being mayor, that also comes with the honor of sitting on the library board for that year. This was brought up at the library board meeting last month. I'd asked Barbara to come to speak to the council on the library board's behalf so we can get a little bit more press out there, and hopefully everybody on Facebook will have watched it and will also feel like donating, just like the board members did as well. We are obviously very, very grateful and fortunate to have such a wonderful library run by the Board of Trustees, which are purely volunteers to this town, like all the other volunteers, and we appreciate and we thank them for everything that they do. So I'll make sure to echo those same remarks tomorrow night at the library board meeting as well. But Barbara, thank you for coming in and telling the rest of the town about what's going on at the library. Any other quick comments? Please, I don't want to stop. All right. Okay.
All right, I'll make a very, very quick one. I totally agree that 65 is a great idea, by the way. It's a very remarkable way to say and remember 65th anniversary. Brilliant place to be in, and I'm always looking forward to see how we can help library.
All right, thank you very much. We are now going to go on to the next proclamation. I'm going to ask Councilman Butani to lead us in that one, and I will get.
Thank you, Mayor. So who we have in front of us, I guess it's somebody who has really taken up voluntarily, something that is needed in the community. That is to fight hunger, but also come up with a brilliant idea of how do you prevent waste. So Veer Agrawal, who is right here, has established Rask Food. I won't take any of the thunder away, but I think that would be an amazing thing to hear from Veer, what he has to bring to the table, what he did over the last several months, and have us a peep at it.
Honorable Mayor Meinhardt, Deputy Mayor Klein, Councilmember Anthony, Councilmember Buptani, and Councilmember Vieira, thank you for taking the time to recognize Rescue Food today. It is an honor to be here and share our story with you. My journey with Rescue Food started this summer when I was off from school and I had a lot of free time to brainstorm meaningful ways to serve my community. At the time, I was involved in several volunteering initiatives. I was teaching English online to kids at an orphanage in India and conducting a book and toy drive for the pediatrics division of the JFK Hospital in Edison. But I wanted to have a tangible impact in my immediate community to see firsthand what amazing work can be done when we leverage Livingston's resources. And so I was thinking about this, and food waste and food insecurity immediately came to mind as a prevalent issue facing our community and beyond. In New Jersey, 3 billion pounds of food gets thrown out every year, and 1 million people are food insecure. Yet in a relatively affluent neighborhood like Livingston, we might not realize this. Usually we eat to our heart's desire, head over to the trash can while conversing with others or scrolling through our phones, and throw away a perfectly good meal while racing to get back to our table. And so this was a problem, and I wanted to address it uniquely. So using skills I had gained from taking AP Computer Science in school and self-teaching, I developed a website which would allow users to locate their nearest food pantries, and for those with leftover food, post donation requests that would notify a volunteer to pick up and deliver the donation to nearby food pantries and group homes. So we launched this website around September, rescuefoods.com. And later I saw another opportunity, and that was with restaurants. I thought about the sheer amount of food that owners were throwing out every day, and if there was something I could do with that. So I started by reaching out to Panera Bread's manager, and through his generosity, he was willing to give leftover baked goods every Sunday, which he would donate to Market Street Mission in Morristown. And later, I was able to also secure partnerships with a few more restaurants like Bagel Nosh, Paris Baguette, and Blaze Pizza, and others. And during this time, I was also gathering a team of high school volunteers as well. And so currently, we've had a lot of success. We've partnered with 12 restaurants across Livingston, and we're expanding to other towns like Milburn as well. And along the way, there were challenges. As much as our intentions were great, we initially did not have a framework behind us, so it became challenging when owners started requesting for an EIN to claim tax deduction purposes, and we didn't have one to provide. And this is where Table to Table came in. They're the longest-serving food rescue nonprofit in New Jersey, and I was able to set up a partnership with their executive director, Heather Thompson, where Table to Table would provide us with an EIN and other resources to expand, and we would provide Table to Table with young volunteers and the ability to incorporate them in this cause. And so I'd like to thank Livingston's gracious restaurant owners and community members. Without them, our success would not be possible. I also would like to thank Rescue Foods board members who work closely with me in running operations, Part Jane on logistics and outreach, Armand Mishra on social media, and Jack Liu on the website. I also would like to thank Mr. Bhuptani for his unwavering support to give us the platform to be here today and share a story and get recognized. And to conclude, our goal is just to mobilize high schoolers statewide to both create their own rescue food chapters and volunteer. Many are getting their driver's license now, so it's a good time for them to use their newfound independence to serve their communities. A community member in Livingston once told us that that older folks are hopeful, knowing the future of food rescue is in good hands with the younger generation, which shows that what started off as an idea can build into a legacy. And I encourage all high schoolers to take part in this mission and be part of something larger than ourselves. Thank you.
So we have a citation or presentation. I know we don't like the word citation, but I'm going to read it, and we'll come down and we'll present it for you. The mayors and members of Livingston Town Council are pleased to honor Vera Argual for creating the nonprofit Rescue Food and addressing food waste and insecurity by creating a website that allows users to locate food pantries and restaurants or individuals to post donation requests. Currently, there are 12 participating restaurants, and Veer's team of high school food rescue heroes have completed approximately 74 pickups and saved over $20,000 worth of food. Rescue Food has been so successful, they've now partnered with large statewide nonprofit organization Table to Table to deliver the food in a timely manner and won the Presidential Volunteer Service Gold Award. Congratulations and thank you. And so I just want to let you know what you said about some of the older folks who are really happy they don't have to worry about it. I'll consider myself maybe one of those as well. But like I say often at these types of presentations, I feel a lot better about the world listening to the youth talk about the stuff that they do, try to help those of less fortunate, and trying to help those to give back. The two words that I talk about always and every day is giving back, and you certainly emulate those words. So I really thank you, and I thank your parents for actually instilling those two words in you as well. So thank you very much. Please.
Just a couple things. First of all, this is wonderful, and I think all of us here just feel proud of you when we're listening to you give this, not only how well spoken you are, but how good your heart is, and what a huge endeavor has come from all these good things. I would say a couple things. I mean, I imagine that as you move on and go to college, you'll pass this baton down to other people, and this is going to be an ongoing thing, which is wonderful to the community. This is something. There's a great tradition of these kinds of activities in this township. I mean, I don't know if you've met some of the sort of like Nick Santinelli and all these other people and the people that work in the food pantry here. It's incredible what these generations have done, but they're getting a little bit older, so it's wonderful that there's this other initiative from younger people in high school that are going to be doing this. And then, so I'm thinking about this while I'm listening to you talk, and the other thing I'm thinking about is, it's funny what kind of education you get from doing this kind of thing. You have to sit here and worry about an EIN when you're trying to do good things for people, right? You start to learn like what it means to have an organization like that of some size, what's actually involved from a state point of view, and it's almost like running a business in a sense, right? I mean, the logistics and all the rest of it. And so, not only do you, does kindness pour out, but you get an education, a real world education that you can't find a lot of other places. So it's really fantastic.
Thank you. I think Councilman Klein and I may have shared a brain for a couple seconds because everything that he said, I was thinking about too. First of all, congratulations, and that is scary, Sean, isn't it? But you know what? I'm so happy to see the younger generation starting to come up with these ideas. Councilman Klein mentioned a person by the name of Nick Santinelli. Nick makes 7, 8, 9 trips, and you're shaking your head because you know it, down to Newark every single day from Livingston down to Newark and back and forth. And you know what? I think the younger generation, you know what, are going to be the ones that eventually take over that. And I am so proud. Even today on one of the resolutions, a flag raising came from a high school student. It was her idea. So I'm so happy to see that our younger generation is starting to come up with these great ideas, and congratulations. And I know you're working with Table to Table is another great organization. So congratulations.
Any other comments?
It's all been covered, but thank you for what you're doing with food waste and food insecurity. That's a very big issue, and I appreciate all your kindness and the effort you've undertaken, so I appreciate it. Thank you.
And Mayor, I just want to acknowledge, along with Veer, the parents are here, Rachna and Bajrang Agrawal, they are here. The team is here that he is working with. So kudos to all of you, and what amazing work this is. Rescuing food and delivering on time to needy. I think these are the best qualities and best things you can hope for from the younger generation. I think everything is said here. I totally agree. Great work.
Great. I think we'll all go down and take a picture with you and your team and your parents, whoever would like to join us, and present you with the
So my name is Parth. I work with Veer and Armand on Rescue Food on our founding team. And I just want to say that it's an absolute pleasure to work on something like this. I mean, like, the amount of joy it brings me to engage in something that has an impact on the community and that also allows us to kind of like work on a system and improve. It just means so much, and it's a really good experience to work on this. And as Veer said, it was difficult at the start. You know, we didn't have an infrastructure in place. We had to figure stuff out. A lot of times we had to scramble to get stuff going, but I'm really glad to see that our work is paying off and that we're coming along well. And I just can't wait to keep working on it and keep spreading our impact. You know, it means a lot to us.
I just want to thank you guys for being here and listening to us and acknowledging Veer's hard work, Parth's hard work, my hard work, and also Jack, who's not here because he couldn't make it. But I think it's a great thing that we're doing, and I really enjoy it. I think it's very fulfilling as a young person to be involved in something like this. And I guess that's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Oh, we're going to continue on with the meeting. Can I have a motion to accept the minutes of the last meeting?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Great. Can I have a motion to open up the meeting to public comments on agenda items?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor? All right, the meeting is now open to public comments on agenda items only with a 4-minute time limit.
Hi, Mr. Mayor, Justin Alpert, a citizen of this community. Resolution 25090, renewing permission for flags to be raised as an expression of government speech. This council has no purpose other than to represent the people whom it has been elected to serve. What you are doing is you are usurping community property for your own purpose. There's nothing else to it. We raise a flag every day. That flag represents a broad sense of both liberty and justice for all. It covers everyone. There is no need for you to take our community property for your own fake speech. I don't know what it is. I don't know what your purpose is. Your only purpose is to represent us. You're much better off doing a flag raising, inviting people to show up. They can bring whatever flags they want. You raise that flag, they stand there with their flags, and it shows that we are a diverse and open community, open to people from all walks of life in every country and everything. But what you're doing is you're undermining the value of that flag, and you're undermining the value of our community property, our town hall here, by taking it from us and just serving yourselves up there with your own speech. That's not even a thing. You're there to represent us. That flag is there to represent all of us. And you cherry pick which foreign countries you want to put up a flag for, and you don't others, and we'd be much better off having a public conversation or inviting flags up there. But we have one flag that covers everyone. This resolution is a mistake. It ought to be withdrawn. Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor.
Any other comments on agenda items only?
Motion to close public comment.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. All right, we now have one final hearing. Carolyn, will you please read 02-2025?
Yes, Mayor. Ordinance 2-2025, amending Section 170-14.4, R5 Residence District.
Can I get a motion to open for the meeting for public comment on this ordinance only?
I'll make a motion to open public comment.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion, the meeting is now open for comments on ordinance 02-2025.
I'll make a motion to
the
close
hearing.
public comment.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Motion to move?
I'll move it.
I'll second it.
All those in favor? Oh, we got a roll call, sorry.
Councilmember Anthony.
Yes.
Baptani.
Yes.
Viera.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Klein.
Yes.
Mayor Meinhardt.
Yes, thank you. We now have one ordinance to be introduced. Carolyn, will you please read 03-2025?
Thank you, Mayor. Ordinance 3-2025, amending and supplementing Chapter 29, Traffic and Parking.
I'll make a motion to move the resolution. Move the ordinance
On first
and
reading.
introduce.
Introduce on first reading.
Introduction.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Councilmember Anthony.
Yes.
Baptani.
Yes.
Viera.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Klein.
Yes.
Mayor Meinhardt.
Yes.
And Mayor, the hearing is scheduled for Monday, February 24th, 2025.
Great, thank you very much. All matters listed for the consent agenda, all matters listed with an asterisk are considered to be routine and non-controversial by the council and will be approved by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a member of the governing body so requests, in which case the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda as part of the general orders. Does any of the council would like any of the resolutions to be removed and read separately? Hearing none, will you please read the resolutions?
Resolution 25-087, authorizing the exterior of the Oval to be a dog-friendly space pursuant to Chapter 68-11 of the Municipal Code. Resolution 25-088, authorizing the issuance of a duplicate tax certificate 22-00008. Resolution 25-089, authorizing the issuance of a duplicate tax certificate 22-00037. Resolution 25-090, renewing permission for flags to be raised as an expression of government speech. Resolution 25-091, authorizing the issuance of a duplicate tax certificate 22-00009. Resolution 25-092, authorizing the sale of surplus property vehicles.
Is there a motion to move them?
I'll move them.
I'll second it.
Okay, roll call, please.
Councilmember Anthony?
Yes.
Baptani?
Yes.
Viera?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Klein?
Yes.
Mayor Meinhardt?
Yes, thank you. Can I get a motion to open the meeting to the public portion?
Motion to open the meeting to public portion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. The meeting is now open for a 3-minute time limit on any subject.
Hi, Mr. Mayor, Justin Alpert, a resident of this community. Ordinance number 04-2025, adopting Livingston Mall redevelopment plan. You know, we got really close. After a year of deliberations behind closed doors, we almost brought this out into the public today, but it was pulled. Where are we on the condemnation process, please?
Counselor?
So we have an area in need with condemnation. There's been no, that would require separate legislation. So there's been no.
What does that
movement.
mean, separate legislation?
The council has not yet, hasn't approved condemning the Livingston Mall.
All right, what are we waiting for?
I don't believe that there, I mean, I think part of it is attorney-client privilege as to whether
So
or
we
not
were
the
just
council.
going through the motions and calling it out, but are we going to reclaim the real property?
Mr. Alpert, I didn't say that. I said that it's under attorney-client privilege at this time.
Has anyone on the council spoken to Eddie Lampert yet? Because what he did as the CEO of Sears, he really drove an American brand into the ground, and he kept all the real property for himself and his financial backers. It was really a genius move. Scott Kapnick financed the whole thing. He used to work with the governor over at Goldman Sachs. It's a really brilliant job there. Future generations of this community can be financing Eddie Lampert's lifestyle down in South Florida on a private island that has its own private police force and private golf club. We need to reclaim the value of that real property. We need to move forward with the condemnation. We need to take that down. We need to take it for ourselves. We can't just block off the Sears property and not deal with the rest of the property. There has to be a master plan. You have to come to the community and start with us. Start with us. What is it that we would like to see? You can't just commit to adding 376 units there. You know, we need to think about schools. We need to think about infrastructure. We need to think about hospitals. We need to think about jobs. And it doesn't make sense. You've spent pretty much, as far as I know, close to a year, maybe longer, maybe shorter, discussing this behind closed doors. You're here to serve us. Take their argument into the public. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
So in response, the township has engaged Swiss Township Planner Topology, and a vendor who will be conducting a charrette process, which is seeking public engagement on the mall and developing the mall. That'll take place sometime in March.
Why is the council not directing the public directly? Why does he need an intermediary? Why are we paying an intermediary?
We're having professionals who have dealt with planning. The mall is obviously a complex development. We're hiring professionals to come in with the ideas to get the thoughts of the public and the residents and what they find to be important and the practicalities of the site and what can actually be done there.
Do the council members speak to members of the public?
I don't understand the question.
Do they need an intermediary to take the temperature of the public?
We need professionals to run the process correctly. None of us up here are professionals on how to run a charrette. So when we're not professionals, we then go out and we hire professionals, just like.
Should we be developing that skill here in the community? We have so many
Well, then-
developments.
then-
Let's
then-
develop
then
it.
Then maybe you should go to the next Board of Education meeting and talk to them. Maybe they have some real estate.
When is the next 5-on-5?
Probably sometime, I'm trying to talk now with the President of the Board of Ed, probably sometime in the next 6 weeks,
When
5,
is
6
the
weeks.
next 2-on-2?
Right now, the next 2-on-2, next 2-on-2 is going to be, we have one scheduled for February, next week, I believe it is. We'll bring it there. But I think those are kind of great questions about when you talk about the youth. Why don't you go to the Board of Education meetings and ask them, why don't they teach kids how to do the charrette process? And then maybe they could run the charrette process. But until then, the best thing that we can do for this town is hire professionals
The best
that do
thing that
things
you could
correct.
do is
Thank you.
create a Livingston redevelopment agency to develop this community, something that is accountable to us, something where we are developing the institutional knowledge to develop this community properly in
I
perpetuity.
think your time is done. Thank you.
Mayor, if I could just say one thing also. Just in response to Justin, you come and you say with doors shut, like we've been meeting for a year, we're getting legal advice on a very complicated real estate issues with a lot of different, and you as a lawyer, you're a lawyer, so you understand that like things that are involved with like legal and attorney-client privilege.
But the
are-
problem
hold on a
is you're
second. Justin, I'm
losing
talking
over
now,
and over
please.
and over
Hold on
again.
one second, I'm talking. There are a lot of moving parts, and we are getting constant legal guidance. If we are meeting every 2 weeks, there are legal tides that are flowing in and out with different things happening with the state, and there are different lawyers involved, and we have to get updated on what's going on.
However,
There are
this
a lot-
council
why- I
has
don't
a
understand. Why am
history
I-
of saying its
why-
hands
I don't
are
understand
tied.
why
We
you're
can
talking over me.
change
Your
the
time to
law.
talk is not right now. There are legal processes in this
Right,
meeting,
because
which
this
you're not
council
absorbing.
does everything behind closed
Okay.
doors.
Mr.
We don't
Alpert,
do
Mr.
it in
Alpert,
public.
we all
When we are
sit and listen
discussing
while you
things,
talk. Please let the
when we
council
are
respond.
discussing things as elected officials with our lawyers, we do them behind closed doors because that is what we are supposed to do as
And you
elected
lose
officials.
every time.
What are you talking about? Lose every time?
Yeah,
All
our
right.
hands are tied. We had a gun to our head. We
Mr.
have to
Alpert,
do this.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Alpert. Any other comments on anything on the, public comments, sorry, public portion?
We're just here to find out what's going on with the Parkview. Apparently, there's like a unit being built to house the superintendent. Is that being discussed today, or?
Yeah, we voted to. That we're building at Parkview?
Yeah.
They came to us looking for, to build an apartment for a superintendent on the property.
Yeah, but that's like right next to our house.
Okay, well, that, I don't know about that. That's part of what the owners of Parkview came to us looking to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could we object to that?
We just voted on it.
For a chance for public comment.
Yeah, we voted on it. It was part of the second. First of all, we have your name, please?
Yeah, my name is Zain Bayani.
And you actually live in Parkview?
No, I live right next to Parkview.
Okay, so all they're building is an apartment in Parkview. They're
Yeah.
building one apartment,
Yeah.
part of the Parkview complex.
Yeah,
So
but
they're not adding, they're only adding one apartment to the complex.
But it's right next to my house. I mean, that. Where they store the equipment, yeah.
Yeah. That's like, right, it's above where they store the equipment, but you don't live in the complex, correct?
No, I don't, but the
Okay.
complex is right next to my house.
Okay, but we're adding one apartment, though, so we've added. Yeah, we're not increasing the footprint at all.
So we cannot object to that at all?
We voted on it, we had a first reading 2 weeks ago, and now we had just voted on it, so.
And public comment was offered before each vote. Just
When
as
was
part of
that?
our open process, we asked for public
Yeah,
comments
there was,
when we were
I
doing,
mean,
you know,
certainly
both
can
times.
address, I mean, you have 3 minutes, which I don't see your timer, but you certainly can address all your concerns currently, but it was just approved by the governing body.
Like today? Just now. Well, that was just so fast, we didn't even understand that, what you guys were discussing. I mean,
Call the ordinance, Sorry, we called the ordinance number by its number, and we had a comment, we had the public comment section, we followed our proper procedures of the governing body.
When Mr. Alpert spoke the first time, that was on agenda items, and if you had gotten up then, we would have told you that you could have spoke then or during the ordinance time. This is our 3rd time opening it up to the public tonight.
mean.
If you have a statement to make, I think we can reset the clock to 3 minutes and you can say what you need to say.
Yeah,
That's what the council has just said, just mentioned here.
I mean, the only thing that we wanted to do is see if we can object to that, because it's literally right next to our house.
You can object and you're objecting, but, I mean,
But yeah, you can object, and we'll note the objection, and we note the objection, but it's, I'm a little confused of the objection, because it's in the complex itself, and we're building this on top of an existing platform. So we're not adding to the footprint, and we're
Right.
not really adding to the whole Parkview complex. So when you
Yeah.
say you live next door to it, it's a complex that goes up a hill, and I'm not sure where you live on that part of it.
No, I mean, I live literally, so the way the houses were built, they were like maybe like 200 feet away from my house, but now what they're building is less than 50 feet away from my house, which is clearly an issue.
Okay, I'm sorry that we followed our procedures properly, and we're happy to take your objections, but unfortunately, we voted on it.
Okay.
Any other comments on public portion? Any other comments?
My name is Muhammad Farooq. I live close by too, and the point is that the letter was not very clear. All it says that the hearing is on that and that day. If we knew that we can object before that and it is open for comments, we would have done it previously, but we just came in here and this is just a number there, and the number just was called out very quickly, so we couldn't really follow. And then there was voting, and now we are just letting that it has already been voted out. So if it is being clearly mentioned in the letter or during this meeting, then we would have timely provided our comments.
I mean, sir, so I just want to say the mayor asked our Madam Clerk to read the ordinance by title. It was read by title to the public. There was then a motion to open the public hearing on that ordinance. There was a pause. We looked around the room. Nobody got up. Excuse me, sir, it's not your turn. You have to take turns. So we need a record. So he has to be up to the microphone. The public portion was then closed. We also opened it up to the public on agenda items, which was earlier on in the meeting. You got a notice to come here for an ordinance. I mean, you have a copy of the agenda, right? It was in the back?
Yeah.
And as you're following along, there's a process, and we went down the agenda. We hit each topic. So when your ordinance came up, 02-225, for final hearing, which is what you're here for, that was part of our agenda. We didn't skip around the agenda. We went through the agenda. We're now at basically our last item of the agenda after the business.
Now, my point is this, that you guys are here every week, whatever time, and we come here once in our lifetime, so we don't know the procedure like you guys do. So if it is clearly been mentioned in the letter, and about like we just learning that there were 2 weeks open period where we could have commented. It was not mentioned in the paper. We were not aware of that. And again, there were so many activities going on in this meeting, and this number just came up and went along, and we just learned when you were already to the next point. So that's my point.
I mean,
that
if the
we
governing
didn't get
body
them.
is so moved by any of your comments, they do have a legal option to rescind any vote that they made by a motion and a second. I mean, you'll still get the benefit of making your comments to this governing body.
And just to be clear, I mean, we're looking at this letter that we received, and this letter doesn't tie to this, so there's no way for us to connect the two to know that this is the Parkview meeting, because there's, from here, you can't really tell that the matter being discussed is the Parkview matter, which is the letter that we received, so it's, I guess you guys were going by this agenda meeting, but there's no way to tie that to this.
The reference is the ordinance. The letter references the ordinance, no?
It even had the ordinance in it.
And the ordinance is attached to it.
I don't see it. Yeah, I don't see it.
So we sent out the 200-foot letter. Exactly. But isn't also, weren't these documents, aren't these on the website? Yeah, so on the website of tonight's meetings, the ordinance was actually listed on the website of tonight's meeting. I'm sorry, the agenda and all the ordinances were listed on our website for tonight's meeting. On the ordinance number, it actually talks about, on the 1, 2, 3rd paragraph of the ordinance, it talks about the Parkview site. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it was actually listed, so we did it properly by putting it on the website, and the ordinance was listed on the website of the town, and in there, on the ordinance that was listed on the town's website, it did say the word Parkview on there. So I'm sorry that maybe you didn't follow it, but we did follow the proper procedures governed by this body.
Got it. Just so I'm clear, so is there a way for us to object to this? Or just because you guys voted and you approved it?
Your objection is noted.
Yeah.
And we're happy to note it, but we passed the ordinance
You guys
unanimously.
approved it unilaterally
Yeah.
without our concern, the people that are being affected by it?
All votes are just taken unilaterally. These are the only 5 people who can vote. So the saying it's a unilateral vote, the public never gets to vote.
Right.
So
And
if
they
you,
don't
if you want to
consider-
object or raise your concerns, you've raised your concerns.
Yeah.
And
Which
I have
is
to
what
say
we're doing.
fairly, sir, the council has addressed your concerns. They said the footprint has not been increased. They said it went over. So they've heard your concerns, and I think that they've responded. You may not agree with what they're telling you, but they're responding to your concerns. So it's not a unilateral vote. It's a vote of the entire governing body. The public doesn't get to vote. You've raised your concerns, and we've taken time, and they've addressed your concerns. That's all that would happen if you would have spoken in the ordinance. Is there another way to object? We don't give legal advice from the council.
Right. But my objection is not to the footprint. My objection is just to where the property is being rebuilt.
Yeah, we've heard the objection, sir. Thank you.
Any other comments on public comments? Tim?
Tim Foley, you guys all know me. I sent everybody pictures, again, still having issues with the dumpsters. And the time of the dumpsters are being picked up are still between 3 and 4:30 a.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays at my, next to my mother-in-law's house.
Tim, I'm sorry to interrupt. We'll stop the clock for a second. When did you send the pictures?
Just,
Oh, okay, fine. Since the meeting started, right?
Yep.
Okay, I just want to make sure, because I didn't get anything.
no, I
prior.
just,
Fair
I sent them
enough.
right before the open
Good,
comments.
continue. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
So,
interrupt.
no problem. I just, again, she's getting woken up at 3 o'clock in the morning because of the garbage pickup. And again, the dumpsters are being in that parking lot. And as you see, those pictures were taken today. And I'm not sure if there's a town ordinance about the parking lots have to be paved, I mean, not paved, the snow removal being removed for the parking lots. And as you can see, the snow hasn't been removed yet, and it's been over 24 hours. I know the sidewalks have to be done within 24 hours of the last flake that drops on the ground. But again, the neighbors aren't being good. The dumpsters are being picked up early. One, again, as you can see in the pictures, that the dumpsters are blocking that other driveway. It's getting out of hand now, and I know that's new building owners. They don't live in the town. They live in New York, I believe. But you have to be friendly neighbors. I know she lives next to a commercial piece of property or multiple commercial pieces of property, but it's not fair for my 90-year-old mother-in-law to be woken up in the middle of the night and,
So, Russ, Russ or Adam, can both of you please, I assume this is these are waste management
Well, it
dumps?
depends. Do you know the name on the size of the dumpster? Otherwise, we'll have somebody go by. They
Well, the
cannot
picture-
pick up.
there's three different companies out there,
Well,
and
we
I didn't write them down this time.
Yeah, that's all right. We
It's
can
been- it's been
notify 'em.
it's been noted in other towns.
There
that
is an
been-
ordinance, they can only pick up between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. So anything that's in the middle of the night.
But Tuesday and Thursdays,
Is this happening every single Tuesday and Thursday?
yep, but somewhere between 3 and 4:30 a.m.
Didn't we have police coming by at one point, like when you came here, I don't know, I'm gonna say 6 months ago? I thought at one point the police, sorry, were going to be called or involved when they were coming at the
I'm
wrong
not sure
time.
if Barry notified the chief or not, or to have somebody,
Marty was notified with our code enforcement, and the police was notified to just watch out for during those times with things. We also reached out because you had provided us with contact information for a couple of the disposal companies. We did reach out. We let them know our town ordinance. We said we were going to start enforcing, which then was followed up with police. Obviously, it sounds like we need to remind them again.
yes.
And just kind of go through this process as we did before.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll notify code enforcement.
Mayor, through you to Adam, can we actually make sure that Gary knows that, it's a specific time frame of on Tuesdays within 1 hour? Just get a couple cars over there, just, if he's doing it every single Tuesday,
Tuesday,
we're gonna.
Thursday.
Or Thursday?
Tuesday and Thursday.
Tuesday and Thursday, we're gonna be able to catch him. And, Tim, I love seeing you here, but, it's the same topic every time. But, and I hope you feel better.
No, I'm doing better. I'm doing well. So, and also, again, in those pictures, you see, those pallets been there for a month and a half. So there's even garbage being left there, not being picked up. So, and my mother-in-law is worried about rodents, so. The two dumpsters actually are supposed to be on the property of the music store, and they slowly creep closer to the other property near the garage that's there. So those two should be actually on somebody else's property. I mean, again, if the other property owner, doesn't matter that that's on their property, that's on them. But again, those two dumpsters that are in the way of the driveway should be on another person's property.
So you're actually saying that tonight at 4:30 in the morning, there should be a truck picking these up?
Between 3 and 4:30, yeah.
Okay.
So, all right, thank you.
Thanks, Tim. Any other comments on public portion?
Motion to close public portion?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Meeting is now closed for the public portion. Reports of Township Council and council members. Ann?
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to give you an update as to the investments that we've been making. Not only do we spend money, but we also make money in the finance department. Last year, we moved all of our funds. We have 48 bank accounts here in town. And we moved them from one bank to another, going from 1.35% to 4.38% on our money, just on our checking account. So to make sure that we continue to make that money, I've taken some of the idle funds and invested it into CDs. So we're earning right now 4.38 on about $20 million. I've scattered the maturity dates of these CDs so that we have enough cash flow. Just the interest we earned, bearing in mind we didn't have all the money in the higher interest earning accounts, we earned $1.3 million in interest income for the town in 2024. And if you recall that we stopped when we did that early tax sale, because of that, we earned about over $800,000 in interest from people who were delinquent. We used to do that accelerated tax sale. We don't do that anymore. So, yeah, we've been pretty successful, and I just wanted to give you an update of what we've been doing. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. That's great stuff, Ann. Thank you very much. We love what you do. We love hearing reports like that. So if you could just do us a favor and give the same report next 2 weeks, that'd be perfect. So thank you very much. Adam?
No updates at this time.
Okay, Russ?
No reports tonight, Mayor. The only thing I would ask that we remember a longtime employed retiree, Dennis Rutan, who worked for many years in the health department originally as a sanitarian. Now they're called environmental specialist. And he passed away toward the end of January.
Thank you very much, Russ. We certainly do. Send our condolences to his family. Counselor?
Thank you, Mayor. No report tonight.
Okay. Carolyn?
Nothing from me, Mayor. Thank you.
All right. I think this week the report is going to be given by Councilman Vieira for the for our,
Great, and thank you for the council for sending me all their stuff. We want to thank the Department of Public Works for working overnight this past Saturday evening, cleaning off all of the snow and off the roads. All of us up here believe that, and our DPW has always done a fantastic job, and we just want to thank them for it. Also, this past week, our town celebrated Go Red, which raises awareness about heart disease for the month of February. This month, we also celebrated Black History Month. The town, through our Committee for Diversity and Inclusion, raised a banner at the corner of Northfield Road and South Livingston Avenue. Also celebrating Black History Month, our Arts Council held a reception called Choices, and paintings and art are hanging in our community arts community center right now, which is fantastic. I went to the reception and it was just wonderful. We all attended a YMCA event fundraiser last week. We all, and I'm sure the entire community, looks forward to the Y breaking ground in early spring for their new building. The mayor, Russ, Jen Walker, who is the recreation director, and her staff went to a county event, community development block grant, where we accepted a check for a non-CDL accessible van for our recreation department. Another wonderful event. I will tell you that Livingston Neighbors Helping Neighbors, who does our food pantry upstairs, is running low on some food and paper products. So if anybody wants to donate, there is a 24-hour drop box right in our police department. So please, before we have to figure out what we're going to do and get more donations for Livingston Neighbors Helping Neighbors. Finally, we all want to congratulate Pat Ippolito, who was honored this Friday by the Big L Club. Pat is just such a wonderful person in our community, and he's well-deserving and everything, and we just want to congratulate him. So congratulations, Pat, from the entire community of Livingston. I know, Mayor, you have one other item?
so I'll just, two quick things. I don't think you mentioned this one as a quick plug. To Dave Toronto did you mention that or no? No, I didn't. So Dave Toronto from Toronto's Pizza was in a contest last week or the week before. I know, Michael, you told me about it, but I called him as well. His grandma pie came in first place in northern New Jersey and second in the entire state of New Jersey. So that's really kind of awesome. And the reason
Out of thousands of pizzerias.
Yeah, and in addition to that, in addition to his food, Dave is really, has been a wonderful soul to this community. He certainly gives a lot of food to both police and to fire and to all the first responders. He hosted for us the ice cream reception that we had here as well. And he's just, he's great for this community. So he definitely deserves a little shout out and congratulations to him as well. And second of all, I did attend on yesterday, was it only? The Sanskriti Heritage Day Festival that took place in the morning. It's a great event where you get to see the kids presenting the heritage and culture of India. And as I said at yesterday's program, it's really what I talk about many times, going from strength to strength. You see the younger generation teaching the older generations. It really was a wonderful event. So I just want to give a shout out and thank Sanskriti for always inviting us. So thank you. We finished the meeting. We finished the conference meeting. So if I could have a meeting to adjourn, a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Thank you.